Hello, I'm Kristen Lee. So my family and I went to SeaWorld and I got my little shirt um in July and I don't remember everything about it. So I'm going to watch the video along with you and then do my opinions and things at the end of it. So I'll see you at the end.
She is 13 feet of Burmese python. Now, you can go back, honey. Go on. We're down one. There we go. Now, off my stage. You want to help? Yeah, you want to try? All right, come in right here. Nicely done. There we go. Let's give him a hand. He's doing a good job. Now, put your hands on there. Now, here. Spread those big wings and sunbathe. When he's feeling nice and warm, he'll take flight. Now, once up in the air, you'll start to see him do some big lazy circles. Now, those circles may look lazy, but he is actually working. He's sniffing and smelling for the grossest, disgusting, stinky, rotten things that he can find. These guys go by many names though. They go by the trash panda, the cat food caper, the big bandits, the masked lunchers. All sorts of names apply to this animal. But I'll tell you what, they happen to be one of the most highly adapted animals on this planet. For instance, his fingertips. Now these birds are perfectly set up to fly and hunt at night. Couple things that help her out. Number one, those eyes. Those eyes are so good at seeing at night that if it was so dark out here right now that we couldn't see a single thing, she'd still be able to see just about as well as we can see right now without any issues whatsoever. But there's a problem with those eyes. Those eyes are so darn big, they take up so much room in her owl skull that they're actually stuck facing straight forward. The first question that people always ask me is, JoJo, why doesn't he bite you? You guys know what the answer to that question is? Well, Spike here, he only bites Dodger fans. Let's see him go. Check that out. I feel like that old Lubriderm commercial. Now, that was a mouthful. Now,
We always ask our animals whether or not they want to participate in whatever we're doing. If they choose to participate and they do a good job, we'd love to reward them with all different types of positive reinforcement. This can include the fish and squid that you see us feeding the animals right here on stage, but we love to change things up and keep it very
These are penguins. I'll explain at the end. That kind of jogged my memory a little bit. When we went basically open to close, and my dad and I haven't done that in years. There were things that I didn't film, or there were a couple of times that we had to recharge our phones because they got too hot, or you know what happens when you're at a theme park. So it was a long day. So I didn't like film little bro touching the touch tanks and stuff with the sea urchins and starfish and everything. And my brain now goes to Finding Dory, where they're in the tank and all the things start hiding. And they're like, "Where are you going?" I'm trying to figure out where I'm going. And one of the animals say, hands. And they're like, what do you mean hands? And he's like, hands. And all of a sudden, all these kid hands come down. I think that every time. So now I don't like doing that. And I know some of the orca footage is long, but I never know who's watching my videos and what they're interested in, whether they want to see the animals. I also wanted to show that the animals were getting rewards for working, because the show has changed a lot. I went about 10 years ago with my dad and stepmom on a visit out to California. And the San Diego SeaWorld has changed a bunch since the last time I was there. The other cool thing for me is finding out that SeaWorld is now, well, this SeaWorld, I don't know about all the other ones, but this one is part of educational programs. So the little critter show that I went to with the alligator, well, was it a crocodile or an alligator? I think it was a crocodile. Oh my goodness. It's only been a month, but I already forgot. But the raccoon and the owl and, and the huge python, they take them on the road. They can't be released back into the wild for certain reasons for each animal. The python was a pet that somebody just released, and SeaWorld was called and they had a space, and he does well with crowds and children, so they use the python as a teaching animal. The raccoon was found as a baby, and I guess his brother and sister acclimated back to the wild fine, but he did not, so they've kept him there, and he's part of the educational team. The owl and the vulture both had clipped wings. They have holes in their wing bones, so they're not able to fly, so they cannot be released into the wild. I mean, they could. All animals should have that chance, but at the same time, if they're going to get eaten or just get sick again, and they're happy where they're at, I forget why the alligator's there. There was a story to it. But I thought that was really cool that those two guys take the animals to schools and different assemblies and different things to teach people about wildlife, and it was really cool. I really liked that part of it. I'm trying to think. The same thing with the dolphin. And I wish that I had been able to film parts of the orca show, because they do a lot of explanation, and it's one of the reasons why my camera is going like this, because I'm trying to listen to them about the new statistics that are being brought in every day about the ocean. So I'm trying to listen to them, and I'm also trying to watch the show. And for me, like, I like the show part of it, but I like watching the interaction between trainer and animal. I think that is one of the coolest parts for me, growing up with Steve Irwin and the movies Free Willy and Flipper and Jack Hanna and, oh my gosh, Jeff Corwin, and seeing that interaction is really cool to me, because it's something that I wanted to do when I was a kid. So I kind of zone in on that part of it instead of the show part of it. The belugas were hilarious. They didn't really want anybody to see them, so they were hiding. There was one that was literally trying to get stuck in the ice so that nobody could find him. And I'm like, I wish there was a way that they could just put a curtain and just be like, okay, you know, they need a timeout. The penguins. So where the penguins are located right now, it's no. When we went during the day, it was the penguins' nighttime. Or it's nighttime all day. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me check that out. Okay, I'm back. I had to Google it. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Okay. So it says the lighting inside the penguin exhibit simulates the lighting pattern in Antarctica. This means that during the summer, the lights are dimmed for about 20 hours each day. So that's why. It explains to you while you're on, because you go on this like conveyor belt to go through the shark exhibit and the penguin exhibit, and it tells you over the speaker why it's dark, and they ask you not to use any flash photography or use your flashlight to see them better because it messes with their internal clock. So I thought that was pretty cool. Park-wise, I'm still not sold on the food. We got the package that included a meal ticket, like an all-day eating meal ticket with the park ticket. However, I was in line for about a half hour. I had to wait about a half hour for my food. And then by the time we were all settled and eating and everything like that, it was another half hour. So it was an hour and a half for food. And it's, McDonald's Happy Meal kind of stuff. I will say it's worth it because you get a fountain beverage, you get an entree, and you get a dessert. But only certain cafes do the meal deal, and it's still cheaper to do the meal deal than to oh my god, my brain, to just buy food throughout the day. Like you would spend more money getting a pretzel here and a drink there and a burger, it would add up during the day, where with the meal pass, theoretically, if you were there all day, you could go to all the cafes that are affiliated with your ticket. I think you have to wait an hour after each meal. So technically, by the time you were done eating, you could go to another place and get in line and do it all over again. But then you're spending your day in line for food. So I didn't like that part of it. And there were QR codes to order your food ahead of time and then show up and show your ticket. But I didn't understand that, and it wasn't in an email and it wasn't online, that's a good way to do it. So I don't know. And it could have been the day that we went, because the only time I got frustrated that there were a lot of people in an area was at the food places, because everywhere else it didn't really feel that we were on top of each other, even though a lot of the shows were, full. The orca one was, the dolphin one was, and the pirate and mermaid one was pretty cute. But there's a lot of acting, and there's just no way to see all the actors the way that they have it set up. But the guy that was on that jet propulsion thing was really cool. The parade is new this year, and they're still getting used to how they're going to do the parade. I thought it was pretty cool that they invited guests to dance at the end of the parade. and they do 2 or 3 songs to dance with everybody, and then they ask everybody to move back to the designated lines so that the parade can finish. But the polar bear and the shark, they got stuck. They couldn't move, and the shark kept going like this. It's like, what is going on? And like he's looking. But yeah. And then the fireworks were nice too. And I guess that's a new thing for SeaWorld. I don't know if it's this year or just recently. But overall it wasn't that bad. My little brother loved it. He cannot wait to go back. His favorite things were where he could actually interact with the animals, but seeing an orca was like top tier excitement for him. He was just like, oh my gosh, they're so big. And you know, when they were spitting at people and things like that, he was like, oh my god. He's like, that's not nice. But yeah, he was so cute, and he kept going, I can't believe this is real life, we can actually see them. So, and my dad was super happy. He was just like, you know, I love the fact that you get to be here, and you know, he gets to do this, and he's so happy. And my stepmom was so happy because she hasn't done a lot of these things, and she doesn't remember a lot of our trip the last time we went. So that was SeaWorld. I'm hoping I don't get a copyright claim for the music that was playing, but I love the dolphin show. I think that was my favorite show. But I love the fact that they explained what they were feeding the animals, and that if the animals don't want to work, because before they used to shut the gates on the bottom so that the animals couldn't go back into their safe spaces. Now they have to. So if the animals don't want to work, they just tell the crowd, look, today's not the day. They're not feeling well or whatever. So our show's a little different today. And it becomes more educational instead of making the animals do the things so that people get what they paid for. I think that this new crew of trainers pivot incredibly well. So, yep, that was SeaWorld 2023. And I hope you're having a great day and a great week. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.